Welcome to J.R. Hendrick Texan Night, a podcast that deals with the early life of yours truly. And now, here we go. This episode is called Good Friday Barbecue. "5:50 a.m. Eastern. The Hendrick plane takes off for Washington, D.C. Jim, having had a sleepless night over some things, he'd had a speech at the U.S. House Chamber, flanked by Betsy, Newton Marianne Gingrich, and Dick Armey. He still had to win over Tom DeLay, however. But going home, he found out that he was castigated by Erskine Bowles. Therefore, he's relieved to be on the plane. 6 a.m. Central. JR wakes up and dresses quickly. He had packed the night before. His plans were to have breakfast with Cousin Joe and Andrew Shelford at TNC at Weymouth Hall. "6:30 a.m. Central. JR is having breakfast at Weymouth Hall with Cousin Joe and Andrew Shelford. "Pecan pie for breakfast?" Joe said. "Wow, JR, you are particular. Look, it's a Swain family delicacy. When I was in the 8th grade, I used to hate what they served at breakfast at the Christian school. So Granddad always packed me a miniature pecan pie to have for breakfast." "Take it to light with him." "Okay, easy on JR, Andrew Shelford said. "Around the same time that he was in 8th grade, I was in 6th grade. I was in 6th grade. I hated the breakfast at school, so Dad would pack some of his friendship bread for me to have for breakfast. Now, I understand that we meet at the condo at 11. I'm ready to go get out of here." "Hey, I thought you'd want to stay here," JR said. "Look, my parents have a communications conference in Ventura, California, and my mom wants to stay in Los Angeles for the weekend. But before we go, I got an advanced rhetoric class at 9. 8 a.m. Central. The plane carrying the Hendrick party arrives with Jim and Betsy and Andrew and Margaret House. "Well, looks like Cloud accepted the invitation to the barbecue. Let's get the van. I want to get back to the ranch as soon as possible to call Jim Angus to cater the barbecue. We can get to work as soon as possible. Hey, after we get there and unpack, you want to go for a round of golf?" "That sounds wonderful. The servants will get our bags. We just go on and play golf." 9 a.m. Central. In business and professional speech class, JR is listening to Brent Clark and Jennifer Bowers give their advanced presentation. It was an awesome time. 11 a.m. The Hendrick entourage arrives at the Hendrick family condo. In the Hummer, JR would ride with Darren and Betsy. In his 1989 Mercedes, Cousin Joe would be taking Andrew Shelford and his roommate at Gordon Hall, Ed Murphy. Murphy had become a friend of his at Reese Prep School in 1987. 1 p.m. rather. Meanwhile, we'll just back up a little bit. When they got in the car, since the Andrew Howe show was a best of, JR allowed Darren to play the heavy metal bands Offspring and Megadeth. With that, Elizabeth put on her headphones to listen to Hank Williams Sr. and Boxcar Willie. 1 p.m. JR and his group arrived back home at the ranch. Lunch was already being served. Ken was already there with his girlfriend Debbie. Look, JR's not like all the other guys out there. You can trust him. Jim Bob? I don't think so. But you don't have anything to worry about. He's not invited on the ranch anytime soon. And so, 4 p.m. Outside in the barbecue, is on a full swing. JR is inside talking with cousin Elizabeth Marie, cousin Amy Kathleen, and Betsy, who is making a casserole out of Wolf Brand chili. 4:30 p.m. The barbecue is still going on. Earlier, while JR was inside, Jim and Kyle got into a music war between Chubby Checker and Two Live Crew. Now, everyone is mellowing out with Waylon Jennings and one of Claude's favorites, Charlie Daniels. 5 p.m. JR goes out with a friend of Elizabeth Marie's named Anna to the Hendrick family motorhome to talk. I'm a patient woman, Anna said. Timing's everything, JR said. Hey, Junior? Look, no one except for my family has called me Junior for the past 2 years. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. That's alright. Outside at the barbecue, everyone is jamming to Merle Haggard and Lefty Frizzell. It's a beautiful time for all at the barbecue. Meanwhile, back out in the motorhome, Jared and Anna are talking. You ever made out with a girl? Junior, you ever made out with a girl? Look, The first inclination I had of that was when I was 18 years old. And by that time, I was alternating between Odessa and Austin, busting my butt to work for my father. And believe me, he's no easy man to work with. Relax, it's obviously your new baby. I started when I was 15. Look, can we just forget about this? Okay, let's get back to the house before your grandma sends a posse to find you. "8 p.m. The barbecue is still in full swings. Kyle and his friends go into the main ranch living room to watch westerns. JR is upstairs in his room with his friends. His Uncle Carl had arrived to see Jim, but relations between Carl and Jim were less than cordial. Meanwhile, upstairs in Christine's room, she is listening to Soundgarden and Bovine Nightmares. Bovine Nightmares was an alternative rock group out of Cleveland. Hope you enjoy the J.R. Hendrick Texan night. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Become a part of the adventure. It's J.R. Hendrick saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. God bless you.